Hey everyone, when you think of Wolverine, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Is it the sharp adamantium claws, the yellow spandex, or maybe that iconic snick sound? For most people, he's the ultimate tough guy, the unkillable brawler of the X-Men who can heal from anything and take on any threat. He's cool, he's rebellious, and he's practically a superhero rock star. But what if I told you that beneath that gruff exterior, and all that healing, Wolverine is actually one of the most, if not the most tragic characters in the entire Marvel Universe? Today we're going to peel back the layers of Logan and explore the deep, heartbreaking sorrow that defines his existence. It's a story that goes way beyond just physical pain. It's about loss, memory, and the curse of a life that never truly ends. To understand Wolverine's tragedy, we have to start at the beginning. And his beginning is a mess. Born James Howlett in the late 19th century in Canada, he was a frail, sickly child in a wealthy family. His life was shattered when the groundskeeper, Thomas Logan, who it's heavily implied was his biological father, attacked his family. In a moment of pure trauma and rage, James's bone claws popped out for the very first time, and he accidentally killed Thomas. His mother, horrified by his mutation, cast him out. In one night, he lost his family, his identity, and his innocence. He ran away with a young girl named Rose, and to escape his past, he took on the name Logan. This is the first major theme of his tragedy, a life built on a foundation of lies and lost identity. He didn't even know his own name for over a century. Imagine spending your life not knowing who you really are, where you came from, or what your real name is. That sense of being unmoored, of having no anchor to your own past, is a profound psychological wound. But the tragedy didn't stop there. Logan and Rose found a semblance of peace in a quarry community, but it was short-lived. In a cruel twist of fate, Logan, in a berserker rage, accidentally impaled Rose on his claws, the first woman he ever loved. This set a horrific pattern that would repeat itself throughout his long life. Everyone he gets close to, everyone he loves, meets a tragic end. It's like he's cursed. This brings us to the second, and perhaps most painful aspect of his tragedy, his immortality. Now, you might think living forever sounds great. You get to see the world change, learn endless skills, and you don't have to worry about getting old. But for Logan, it's not a gift. It's a relentless, soul-crushing curse. His healing factor means he can survive any physical wound, but it does absolutely nothing to heal the wounds on his heart and mind. Think about it. He has lived for well over 100 years. He's fought in every major war from World War I and II to Vietnam. He has seen friends, comrades, and entire generations of people he cared about grow old and die while he remains unchanged. He falls in love, builds relationships, and then has to watch them wither away. Mariko Yashida, Silver Fox, Jean Grey. The list of women he loved and lost is heartbreakingly long. Each loss is a fresh scar on his soul, a memory that his mind can't forget and his body can't heal from. Most people get to grieve, move on, and eventually, the sharp pain of loss dulls with time. For Logan, time is the enemy. It just gives him more opportunities to lose more people. He's a walking, talking memorial to a century of dead friends and lovers. His long life isn't a grand adventure. It's a long, lonely road paved with tombstones. This is why he's so gruff and pushes people away. It's not because he's naturally mean. It's a defense mechanism. If he doesn't let anyone get close, he can't be hurt by their inevitable loss. Then there's the Weapon X program. This is where the tragedy gets even more twisted. After decades of drifting and trying to find his place, Logan was captured by a secret government project. They saw him not as a man, but as a living weapon. They subjected him to unimaginable torture, forcibly bonding the indestructible metal adamantium to his entire skeleton. This process was so agonizing it would have killed anyone else. Logan only survived because of his healing factor, meaning he had to consciously endure every single second of excruciating pain. But the physical torture was only half of it. They also wiped his memory. They brainwashed him, controlled him, and turned him into a mindless killing machine. They stripped away what little identity he had left and replaced it with programmed directives. For years, he was a puppet, forced to commit horrific acts against his will. When he finally broke free, he was left with nothing but fragmented, nightmarish flashes of memory. He didn't know who he was, what had been done to him, or what he had done to others. This is the core of his quest for so many years in the comics. It's not about fighting supervillains. It's about reclaiming his own past. He's a detective in the mystery of his own life, piecing together clues, trying to separate real memories from false implants. Can you imagine the mental anguish of not being able to trust your own mind? Of not knowing if the love you felt or the horrors you witnessed were even real? That's a level of psychological torment that few characters ever have to endure. And even when he finds a family with the X-Men, the tragedy continues. He becomes a father figure to young mutants like Kitty Pryde and Jubilee, but he knows he'll outlive them all. He falls into a complicated, painful love triangle with Jean Grey and Cyclops, a love that is never fully resolved and often ends in Jean's death, which he has to witness over and over again. The X-Men give him a purpose and a home, but it's a home constantly under attack, a family constantly in danger. He carries the weight of protecting them, often feeling responsible when they get hurt. One of the most devastating Wolverine stories is Old Man Logan. In this alternate future, a group of supervillains finally defeated the heroes. Mysterio tricked Wolverine into thinking the X-Mansion was being attacked by villains. In a desperate berserker rage, Logan killed them all, only for the illusion to fade, revealing that he had actually slaughtered all of his friends, all of the X-Men. The one place he called home, the family he fought to protect, he destroyed it with his own hands. This trauma was so profound that he refused to pop his claws for 50 years. He broke himself. This story is the ultimate culmination of his tragedy. His greatest strengths, his ferocity and his claws, became the instruments of his greatest loss. So when you see Wolverine, don't just see the animalistic rage or the indestructible warrior. See the man underneath who has been torn apart and put back together more times than he can count. See the immortal who desperately wishes for the peace of a final end. See the father and lover who is cursed to watch everyone he cares for die. His story is a powerful exploration of what it means to be human, even when you're more than human. It's about memory, identity, and the search for peace in a life defined by violence and loss. He's not just the best at what he does. He's a man who has endured more pain, both physical and emotional, than almost any other character in fiction. And that, in my opinion, is what makes him not just a great hero, but a truly profound and tragic figure. He keeps fighting, he keeps getting back up, not just because he can heal, but because deep down, there's a sliver of hope that one day he might finally find peace. What do you guys think? Is Wolverine the most tragic character in Marvel? Or is there someone else you think has had it worse? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content. See you in the next one.